trucks on a bridge, trucks on a bridge. There are some trucks there on a bridge. Oh my god, the tension. Hurd Ya Saw, I guess.
All of those cracks had been on the start of the cast.
Well, I'm just like, I was at a loss of how to begin this one because...
You sounded like the bridge.
How do you how do you start just... I mean, because at the moment I've got the
Well, if we spend 40 minutes setting up each of our backgrounds,
and then make us all do something incredibly tense, I'm just like, welcome back to Hurd Ya Saw! Well, dear listener, we told you, and you listened, probably, and then we watched the film Sorcerer, William Friedkin. We were promised thrills. Boy, there were some. I'm joined.
I feel like this needs to be prefaced with the fact that we watched the first England match immediately before watching this film, so we were already awash with adrenaline.
Yeah, and then there was a lot more. I'm joined by Morton, Shay, and EJ. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hello. We will begin, as ever, with our one-line hot takes. I good luck. I honestly have no... I'm finding it hard to put words together, given that, like, how much... is running through my body. Shay, you brought us into this nightmare.
Yeah.
What is your one-line hot take of this film?
I didn't remember a lot of it, and I clearly misremembered how a lot of the film isn't that fun. There's a lot of just like depressing, horrible images, and then there's also fun ass dynamite.
Like fun in like inverted commas here.
I don't think fun is the right word.
EJ, one-line hot take.
You can't sum up this movie in one line. And that is clear from anyone who's tried to write a synopsis online.
Oh god, I dread to think. Morton.
I think I might have a new favourite film.
Really?
Oh!
It was solid.
It's
like,
very good. I mean, my one-line hot take is that if you wondered where all the money from The Shining went, William Friedkin was just like, fuck it, we're gonna go really big. Like, absurdly big in terms of scale.
Like Apocalypse Now.
Like, oh my god, there was so much in this film, just in terms of locations and practical effects and people and extras and explosions and heart-stopping tension and specifically poorly constructed bridges. So EJ, are you ready to deliver what I think may be one of the defining synopses of your career on this podcast?
My favourite thing is also, they said, judging by synopsis written online, no one has said it. EJ's tried to research
No, I haven't tried to read any because I
Okay.
didn't want to know. But the length of them all have been excessive.
Yes.
So the first 40 minutes is setting up each character.
Yes.
And you get introduced to a guy who blows up something in Jerusalem.
Yep.
And then a French banker who commits fraud and needs to escape. An assassin.
He gets like
who
literally...
just does something.
He kills a dude.
Kills a dude.
And away we go. That's
it. And
the
then,
fucking opening of the movie as well. It's like, here's a man, here's a gun, he's dead. Aha!
Hard cut Jerusalem. Here
Yeah,
we go.
here we are. Yeah, next location.
And then Chief Brody plays a mafia member who kills a mob boss's brother, and then it has to flee the country in order to escape him because there's a hit put out on him.
And that's 40 minutes.
So that's the first 40 minutes. And there is no plot. You're just kind of wondering, where is this going? Looks nice. Uninterested.
Yeah.
Looks real nice. Where's it going? There's nothing happening. There's barely any dialogue. We end up in Colombia?
South America somewhere,
I think
yeah.
Colombia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Panama, right?
Somewhere
Maybe.
around South America, and all these guys are in some kind of oil camp, drilling camp, but it's not like a summer camp, it's like a rough fucking job.
I feel like the turn is like more like shanty town.
Yes,
is that a
shanty
good?
town.
Yeah.
So they're all just chilling, being...
Wet hot American summer.
They're all just chilling, being like, you know, on the run and shit.
Yeah.
And
Doing shitty jobs.
the oil well explodes in a very dramatic fashion.
Mm-hmm.
And then 213 miles, 18 miles away, there's a bunch of old dynamite. And they were like, ooh, you know what would be great if we move this dynamite over here. Okay, cool, but because it's now just liquid, because some idiot left it in too long and didn't rotate it, like in Lost, they just were like, okay, we need 4 people to go on a suicide mission to move the dynamite in old fucking 1930s trucks.
Yep.
It's how you qualified for the writer's room of Lost.
Yeah. Through the jungle to blow up the oil well. That wasn't... I didn't really get why dynamite would help,
That's
but
how you
sure.
stop a venting oil well. You have to like blow it up to bury it and shit.
Oh,
Like
alright.
to just snuff it out and
We'll
stuff.
go with that.
Yep.
Never really makes a difference. So everybody auditions for the role of truck driver, and 4 people get chosen, and then the assassin kills one of them, so he can go instead. Because who doesn't want that job? So they fucking choose their trucks, and there's like a truck fixing montage, and then 2 of them get in a truck, and the other 2 get in another truck, and it's called Sorcerer, and that's where the title of the film is from. Even though that's never really acknowledged, and I feel like they could have named it something else.
Yeah, maybe
It's
something that
really
would
a
have made the film
misdirect.
money.
Yeah, it's a big misdirect.
There
And
is
then
no supernatural element to this film.
They load up with dynamite and they go on their way, and every fucking bridge is made of old logs, and they're all going on the same road, and the first bridge fucking breaks, and they're fine, but it's tense. And then it starts raining because it's the jungle, and they're like, oh, I guess we better go on this old ass road. It's probably fine. And then they reach a river, and there's a fucking rope bridge, and they're like, you know what? This would hold
During a storm.
a truck. Yeah, let's go for it, you guys.
Yeah.
So they go across, and it's super tense.
It's terrifying.
And they keep going, and then the other truck comes along, and you're like, wait, what the fuck, we need to do this again? And then it's even worse. And then they reach a tree that's in the road, and they have to blow it up with
I have
dynamite.
to like MacGyver that shit.
Yeah, and it's, again, super tense, and then they keep going, and then one of them just fucking blows up, and you're like, alright, well, that was... The Sorcerer one blows up. Why was it called Sorcerer? And then the other one gets attacked by people,
Bandit?
a gang,
Yeah.
and they kill the assassin, and then Chief Brody kind of goes nuts in a Mad Max town of weird ass desert towers, and then he goes crazier, and his truck breaks, and he's like, you know what? I guess I'll walk the last mile with a box full of dynamite. And that's it! Oh, wait! No, then he goes back to the town, gets written a check for his crazy-ass amount of money, and then he gets fucking hit by the original Mafia guys!
Yep.
And you're just like, what? This fucking movie was all for nothing, but boy, it looked pretty.
Well done, EJ. Like,
Thank you.
yeah. So, Morton, I'm gonna lead with you because you enjoyed this movie experience.
Morton looks as grizzled as one of the characters.
I've been through things tonight.
Yeah.
So it actually was quite a random amount of money on the check at the end, considering they're told that they will be paid $8,000 each.
Pesos.
Pesos.
Yes.
Currency isn't important. The number. They're told 8,000 each. Then they negotiate and they're like double and citizenship,
Yeah.
which is 16,000 each.
Yes.
The check was for 40,000.
Yes.
That is neither 16,000 nor 4 times 16,000.
No.
What is 4 times 16,000? No, but I noticed that too.
It would have been 64,000 pesos if he'd gotten his full amount. Yeah. So maybe they just thought you
It's not
deserve
my
a
new
bit
favourite
extra.
film.
Oh, really?
That's the
Ruined it?
No,
That's ruined
the
it?
kind of art department shoddiness.
That's true.
I'm joking.
This movie was very, very intense. If
Yeah.
you're looking for something that's kind of relentlessly intense and has an overwhelming sense of just impending doom.
And it
I-
isn't
I-
A Quiet Place. Then
Oh,
watch
no.
This.
Oh,
if you've
yeah.
seen A Quiet Place,
Yeah, and you
and
think
you're
that's
like,
that's a
"Oh,
bit tame.
I want more of this. I want an extra hour.
Yeah.
Then go to this.
I loved the one truck that looked like it was angrily grinning the whole time and constantly reminded me of like the heater in the basement in Home Alone.
Oh yeah.
Well, that truck was like literally looked like that, so it looked like it was gonna eat that one dude.
Yeah, and that
Yeah.
one bit. Oh my god!
So when the guy falls, they're directing people over the old rope bridge, and the guy falls, but he climbs back up, but the other guy can't see him from the truck. So
'Cause of
it's
the
like
rain.
almost running him over. He's like crawling away from the goddamn truck.
which is a big mouth.
And then the truck finally stops, and you're like, oh, phew, he's not gonna get run over. And then a tree just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah,
Where does
that
the
was-
tree come
That
from?
was the
Tropical
biggest
storm.
reaction we've had in any film we've ever watched.
I think.
was
Oh.
everyone just going, "Ah!"
Ah! It was like incredible because it genuinely was because like the first truck going across the bridge was pretty like wild. It got to like some pretty crazy angles. I mean, like the first bridge they go across, which is not the rope bridge, there's a bit where it breaks and then it cuts to a shot of all the dynamite boxes going "Hup," and you're like "Oh!" and you suddenly realize that like oh yeah, because if these boxes move over much, everyone in that truck's fucking dead.
Yeah.
And then they just put it on like the most swingy rope bridge, and you're like, oh no!
And then someone like pushes a bush into frame.
Yeah, just like ah! There was a lot of wild screaming.
Yeah.
This movie, I just want to say up front, this movie looked incredible.
Yeah.
Like the cinematography and shot composition and just the aesthetic of it was amazing. There was some really, really amazing bits of camera work with just like handycam stuff where they would, follow people around with like long take stuff. They had bits where the camera would like attach to like cranes as they went up while workers were working below, and it like panned open onto like the shot of all these people working in the oil field. The montage was used to really excellent effect where they'd have like the truck fixing montage was, they're like, yeah, alternators, fucking motors, welding, then burning oil fields because the impending sense of dread of the flame. Like, okay, legit, near the end of the film when he's walking up like all fucking delirious and crazy carrying a box of dynamite and he gets to the oil field and the other guy's like, you fucking get away from they took the dynamite from him, and he kept walking. I was like, he's just gonna march into the fire. I was like, that's gonna be the end of the film.
That would be a sick ending to that film.
It would be so good. And you'd just be like, oh shit. Like he lost himself out there in the road, listening to the haunting laughter of the assassin whose last words were, he was like, what are you going to do with the money? Keep talking to me. He's like, I'm going to get laid. Gonna buy the best whore. And then he's like, yeah, get 2 whores. And he's like, ah ha 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 ha. And just he's a haunting, laughing presence as he wanders through the blue desert fucking
Use
mountains.
My last words to objectify women.
Yes! Look at the gams on that dame! Oh, mate. Shay, you suggested this film.
Yeah.
Do you feel it delivered?
Yeah, I did. Everyone, whenever I pitch a film, my main goal is how much noise can I get
Yeah.
the rest of you to make?
Same.
And this film delivered with that noise.
This was way better than I thought it would be.
Yeah, this like provided King Kong Skull Island levels of ooh, except for the opposite reason. Skull Island, you're kind of like, oh, excitement, and like, oh, holy shit, look at that monkey, and this is like, oh, fuck, a bridge.
Now imagine if Tom Hiddleston had to transport a truck full of dynamite to a giant gorilla to blow.
Blow
That was
up
the
the
only way
gorilla.
to blow up Kong.
And Samuel L. Jackson is driving the other truck.
So are we gonna rewatch? Are we gonna watch the remake of this when it comes out?
They're doing a remake?
They're
This is-
remaking
yeah.
it with women.
This is a remake itself.
This is a
as
remake
well.
already
Yeah.
Yeah.
of a previous film.
They're gonna remake it again.
And they're gonna remake it Ben
Because
Wheatley.
there was only one
Oh,
woman
Ben
with a
Wheatley!
speaking role.
With an all-female cast.
Oh. I mean,
It's not his next one. Like,
How are you gonna say Kate McKinnon?
No,
every
That's a bit
female
totally. This
reboot.
would be very weird for
Kate McKinnon's eyes just popping like, whoa.
oh man.
to be fair, this remake's still probably like at least 4 years away because it's not his next film.
Shit.
Is there any chance? I just want a shot in the dark. Is Olivia Colman going to be in this remake?
Who is that?
She is a British actress who is incredible.
He's already
Oh.
cast 2 people, I think, but I'm not sure who, and that was a while ago, so it might change.
Who would be
Look it up.
good?
Yeah.
Because we know she can do tense.
Yeah.
Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt can do tense.
Yes,
Mm.
put Emily Blunt in this movie.
She deserves to be in more good films. You know, instead of other films that she's been in. Like, I feel like I liked. I'm going to say something which may be a little controversial. I think this is a better film than The Exorcist.
Yeah,
I've never seen The Exorcist.
Definitely.
Can't
Really?
recommend
Oh, man.
Likewise.
I don't care about
It's on my pile.
How have you never seen The Exorcist?
Because I've seen spoofs of it, and it like that happens a lot. Like I see spoofs of things, and I'm just like, I'll get around to it. It's on my pile. Like
Okay.
physically, it's on my pile in my
It's
home.
like I'll say Exorcist is a good film. Like it's a horror classic for a reason. And you know, Friedkin is a very talented filmmaker, and he knows how to fucking construct an image, as we just saw all too graphically. With just like, oh, what about that one shot where the assassin guy is just casually leaning against a post under the porch in the rain after he's murdered someone, and you don't see anything to suggest that, but you just fucking know that shit's going down. It's like, it's really good visual storytelling. But I think the tension of this and the sort of the psychological drama of it really, I think, hit home for me a lot more than Exorcist. Because Exorcist has the whole thing that it's more horror genre. And like, you go into horror with a certain amount of expectation of like, oh, I'm gonna be... I didn't know what this movie was. And then I realized it was just like, a film. You know?
This was originally called Wages of Fear.
Yes.
Which
Yeah.
makes way more sense as a title.
Yes, which is a great title as well.
And he said that it's going to be set in Africa with twice as many trucks.
Ben Wheatley's version.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right, I'm into that.
Because there's a novel that it was based on originally as well, so he's said that he's going back and readapting the novel.
Okay, rather than the
just
Friedkin.
remaking the film.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that. Doesn't say anything about the cast, though.
Okay. EJ,
Yes.
what did you make of this movie?
I thought it was fucking great.
Yeah.
Made me want to shoot on film.
Oh, didn't
Oh,
it just...
Yeah.
Just like, it's got that 70s feeling of just like, yeah, all of this is on celluloid.
I did feel this, yeah.
Yeah.
It was very tense. More tense than I thought it would be, given the fact that although there was character establishment, there was no character development, and there was also no really redeeming qualities about anyone.
There was a brief moment where it looked like there was going to be the Israeli guy, because his mate was killed by the assassin, and I was like, oh, maybe he's going to, like, you know, it's going to come down to a sort of, like, you know, oh, my chance to kill you whole thing. Like, there was that great bit when he's, like, trying to construct the MacGyver fucking bomb to blow up the
Yeah.
tree, and he's like, turn out your pockets. He's like, I haven't got anything to put sand in, and just like the fucking lead guy hands him a knife, and I'm like, he's gonna, he tried to murder him with that very knife earlier in the film. And he just cuts out his pocket, and he's all like, thank you. And I'm like, shh, okay.
Yeah.
You know, but then he fucking dies! Just gets blown up!
Gets blown up.
Yeah, right when fucking Victor is talking about his wife and his happy life back in Paris, he like,
Not signposting.
Not
his
at all.
imminent death.
No,
Yeah,
mate.
that was like the only weak part where I
Yeah.
was like, oh, they're just kind of leading into it now.
yeah, you know, but, oof.
Really good.
Also,
Super solid.
great score.
Oh, yeah. Everyone watch Miracle Mile after you see this film. Because Tangerine Dream does the whole fucking thing, and it's just like nothing but them
Like,
for the whole movie, and you're just like, ugh, yeah, 80s.
it's amazing
Miracle
synth
Mile.
work, just like...
Yeah.
Alright.
Put on the list, everyone.
Shay, you looked like you had something you wanted
Oh,
to...
when you said about film, and then I was just thinking, no film is made like this today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, no one will go, hey, let's drive trucks over a road bridge.
Yeah.
No one would ever make this today.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's really depressing.
Yeah. It is...
This film won't exist.
This film, I mean, this is the
It
thing.
does exist, though. It's not depressing. It's just
It
like...
exists back in the 70s, but now it wouldn't exist.
I feel
I
like...
would argue that. I would argue Fury Road.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they did do...
Fury Road did really great things, but they
Okay, yeah, no, it didn't do.
also didn't put, like, they didn't drag a cruise ship over a mountain, and they didn't, like,
That
They
they
wasn't
didn't
the
have
point,
a truck
though.
over a road bridge.
Fair
But
enough.
Mad Max is, like,
Like, that's...
probably the closest
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
this kind of thing.
You, as in, like, it's got, like, it
And
had
in
that
this day and
real,
age.
like, tactile sense of... Because they literally did all
Yeah.
of those things.
No film will have such a reckless disregard of a risk assessment.
Yeah.
Just being the risk assessment officer on the shoot, being like, oh, Jesus Christ. You want to blow up how much? Like,
It was the 70s. Everyone
so,
was on
like,
cocaine.
the oil fire.
That was so good about the film is that they had, like, 3 explosions before they even got to the trucks.
Yeah.
And then it just established anything can explode at any time in this film.
Yeah.
And now we've got dynamite trucks.
Then again, I will argue that there is a film that will do that in this day and age.
Yeah.
Jurassic World:
Oh,
Fallen Kingdom.
God,
I've seen that
I've
film.
not
That's true.
seen it.
The final act is within the first 20 minutes.
Guys, it's just a haunted house movie with dinosaurs.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
I honestly think it would be a good podcast.
all right. I mean, it's on the. We'll put it vaguely on the. I mean, I just
Alright.
don't.
It's funny.
Okay. I just.
A dinosaur opens a window.
I've
Wait.
read an article that is claiming that it's a Trump allegory throughout as well. And it's just like, oh.
Instead of, like,
I'll
actually
send it
watching
you.
that film, you two should just do a little mini cast of Jurassic World right now.
Should just tag the end of this with Jurassic World review.
I can't, it's still too raw.
Oh,
No,
God.
that wasn't a pun. It wasn't intended.
Wasn't it?
It genuinely wasn't.
Oh,
That's even
you
sadder.
have had a hard day.
Yeah, you're not making puns. You had a pun earlier that you wanted to use.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's unnatural.
Yeah, we buried the lead now.
Like-
It's like.
Listen out in a few minutes when I figure a way to catch you and slip it in. Stay tuned, kids.
Oh.
Attention, Will Moore and
Ah! He's like a truck on a bridge. Just it's always good when a movie makes you like go from your like reclining position on the sofa to
Yeah.
a sort of more alert position, and then you're sort of climbing up the back of the sofa and like getting against the walls.
We've
to,
now
like,
hit the ceiling on. The new metric is truck on a bridge tense.
Oh yeah, that's a benchmark of
Yeah.
just
You're
like,
like
oh.
Spider-Man on the wall. Like, Spider-Man's on walls, like, up against...
I'm just like, he's watching tense movies all the time. He's just like, oh, slowly lifting himself further up with this sense of like, oh, Jesus. But yeah, like, I think this is, like, in the same way that films like this wouldn't really get made, like, not only just technically made, because, you know, you have people like, George Miller and, like, Nolan, who do, like, all their actual practical stunt stuff, which, you know, but that's much more of a rarity. One of the things I actually said several times during is, how the hell would you market this film?
You can't.
Because it's like, there's not really a plot, and it's not really any characters to sort of be like, hey, look at these Dude, it's just like you'd want to just put the truck on the bridge and be like, fuck! And people would be like, oh, fuck!
I think that is literally the trailer.
We're about to watch Ben Wheatley try to market this film.
Oh, God.
I feel you just go, it's the last shot of the Italian Job, but as like an hour and a half
Yeah.
of just sheer tension. And just like, yeah, I don't know.
It's hard to, like, thrillers are always hard to, like, market, I think, to try and put across, like, you're gonna flip your shit, but we can't show you any of the shit that will make it flip.
Yeah.
Because that's what you're going in for.
It could be like Paranormal Activity where they just show the audience watching the film. If they showed us watching that film, it would be good marketing.
I feel you just show a shot of Michael Bay crying in a room.
I guess back then though, like, films were definitely had more of a word of mouth thing of being like, you have to go see that movie, like The Exorcist or anything like that.
Yeah.
And then people started queuing, it becomes huge.
Mm.
But this film went up against Star Wars, and people were like, you have to go see Space Monkeys and you gotta
Laser
see
sword,
you gotta
wizard,
see
Jedi.
those laser swords.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's a controversial thing to say that this is a better film than Star Wars.
That's not a controversial thing to say. Oh my god.
I think we just made some enemies in the world of podcasting. Probably.
Come at us.
I would say on the screen frozen is just stunt coordinator Bud Ekins. I just want to say, Bud Ekins, you earned your fucking dollar, mate.
Yes.
You had a lot to do. There was a riot in the middle of this film.
Yeah.
Like, with that whole thing of, like, freaking... I feel like one of the things I latched onto while watching this is that he really likes to do, like, actual proper old-school world building through, like, set pieces that have literally basically nothing to do with the plot as it exists. But also, like, the during the opening sequence, the mob guys that lead character Domingo is working for, they basically, there's a church, a Catholic church that is a front for money laundering, and there's a wedding going on in there, and there's a wedding happening while they're going in to, like, steal the shit, and the bride has a black eye, and it's sort of like, that's never brought up. That's
Yeah.
never mentioned. But at the same time, you're like, well, there's a fucking story there.
Yeah.
And the French guy's wife mentions Veracruz over the dinner table as well, and you're just like, is that gonna link up to the first scene with the hitman? And it's no.
Yeah. And, like, just... And also, I liked that
The French bit just has like a minute montage of like food, of French food as well. Just like, just that world when like, look at how fancy this restaurant is, and this guy's gonna run out of it in like.
Yeah,
a
after
minute.
his fucking mate shoots himself in the head in his car. Jesus. I mean, I also like that they never explain what the inscription on the watch means. Because it's like this
It's an
oblique
anniversary.
reference.
Yeah. It's like,
Well, it's like the 10 years out of time kind of thing.
10 years of forever.
Oh, okay. I didn't... Oh, okay.
It's a wedding anniversary.
Right.
Just supplant it with the fact that they never explain what the old woman gives him before.
Oh, that was the
Oh,
watch.
yeah.
Was that the watch?
Yeah, she gave him back the watch, I thought.
Oh,
okay.
shit, yeah.
I assumed it.
We
No,
paid
yeah, that makes
attention.
sense.
Yeah, we do. We do. We saw all of this film. Man. And, like, the fucking guy, the explosions guy is, like, a terrorist, but you never find out what he's fighting for or anything. Like, whether he, you know, because he seems to be Israeli, but he's blowing up things in Jerusalem, so is he actually Palestinian? Like, there's a lot of...
huge amount of political turmoil in like everywhere.
Yeah.
That's going on.
And it's never really... It's all used to create the sense of a really solid, cohesive, multifaceted world. And you're just like... I found it very, very engaging, because I'm just like, no, I believe in that this is a sequence of events that have happened. Like, Domingo ends up in Colombia or whatever, because some guy that we never really find out who he is owes him a favor from stuff that happened prior to the film even happening. And it's just like, okay, yeah, this is a character with history and stuff like that. He's not just sort of popped into existence. So...
And the person running the bar they meet in might be a Nazi.
Oh, yeah. Because he speaks German, and he even says that he's like a... He said, like, oh, he's like such and such was like...
He said a position that
like a
included
Sonderkommander
the word
or something?
Reich.
Yeah. Something like that. So...
It's a real nihilistic film.
It's freaking nihilistic. Oh, Kel fucking Surprise.
You gotta be freaking kidding me.
Oh, we buried that lead and it came out. Morton's back in the game.
We go over the road bridge.
Woo! The winch worked. So I'm gonna
Put
put.
you kill that, guys. That was smooth.
It was really good. Well done. I'm proud of you. EJ, would you like to give your final thoughts?
It really made me reconsider my assessment of the Massachusetts highway system.
Well, like you suddenly realize how good you've got it.
Yes.
Okay.
It's not that bad. But they've got potholes, but it's not that bad.
And the trucks aren't full of dynamite. At least
Not all of them, no.
Yeah. Morton.
There were potholes, but I think we've established there were no
No.
plot holes.
I'm so sad I set that up.
I wish you died on that bridge.
Oh, you look.
Oh.
Get eaten by a truck.
So
I
do
swear to God, if anyone says this film was dynamite,
Oh.
I'll fucking kill you.
Shay.
I'm really glad I never learned to drive. So I can just have a slight distance.
It's like I never have to like drive a dynamite truck anywhere. Oh mate. And for my final thought, I genuinely not sure if I have one that's like neat and pithy to close out the podcast with.
Have you seen that episode of Lost that everyone is
No.
thinking about? Has anyone else seen it?
I gave
Yeah.
up halfway through season
Okay.
2 of Lost.
Well, you would have seen the episode of Lost. Because at the end of season 1, they take dynamite to blow up the hatch.
Oh, is that how they got the
That's-
hatch open?
That's season 2.
I thought
Yeah,
that had
no,
season 1.
Season 2, they get into the hatch.
Ah.
Yeah, season 1 ends with them opening the hatch.
Oh,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
because they
okay.
get it from the black ship.
I thought it
the end of
ends
season
with the
one.
light. Never mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, the light is like halfway through season
Okay.
1.
End of season 1, they blow up the hatch.
Yeah, and they use
So-
it with like the liquidy dynamite stuff.
Yeah, but
Mm.
like that's an entire episode dedicated to moving crazy ass leaky dynamite across the island in the same exact situation. So you have to think they saw this film
Or read the book.
Hmm.
or read the book.
Mm.
But I don't think they did it as well.
Nice.
Even though they do blow up a guy immediately.
They're like, oh
It's
shit.
because of that you're like, here's a fresh guy. He's there to get blown up. But in this film, they don't fall into that trap.
They do not.
I'm impressed by this.
They had the great bit where the dynamite inspector like dips his hand in the dynamite juice and he's like, oh, and then like flicks it off. And it's like, and you're like,
Dynamite juice.
shit. So, thank you for listening. That's fucking terrible. Shit.
We've never done that.
I've
Thank
never done that.
you.
No, don't thank people.
Your final thought.
I was.
Sorry.
I thought I'd gotten away with not having one. Well done, William Friedkin. I won't vomit pea soup on this cinematic achievement. It was da bomb.
No.
Thank you, William Friedkin.
You drove me to this. Join us next time on Hurd Ya Saw, when we'll probably be watching Ocean's 8
Or Hereditary.
or Jurassic World 2.
I'm not
Oh,
watching that
another
bullshit.
random-
Really up in the air.
Or a random film that will be announced at the top of that particular show when we're rejoined by Advanced Treasury Agent Sean Narborough. Hey Sean, I know you listen. And this is the end of the show.